Just adjusting my camera here. Trying to get set up, get ready to stream for a little bit. Alright. There's about a 10-second delay in between. It's not even 10 seconds. It's like 6 seconds between when I adjust something on screen and TikTok. It comes across on TikTok. So, pardon me while I get this done. There. That's my workspace. Let's go over here. Make sure my cameras are set up. Good evening, everyone. How you doing? My name's Sean. I run mailworks.com, where you can find all the chainmail themed apparel and accessories that your heart desires. I gotta turn my hat backwards so that I can get the light from overhead so the brim of my hat doesn't block the light. Alright. So, I was thinking about this today. Clearly there's been some work done to this, right? You can tell. I was working on this last night on stream. I was like realizing that it's not going to be long enough for a necklace. I had 4 different colors of niobium: fuchsia, purple, blue, and green. But I didn't have enough of each ring color to make a single project, a standalone project, right? So I dumped them all into a pile and have just been selecting at random. And it's come out pretty good so far. Got different purples, blues, and greens in here. But I still don't have enough for, say, a necklace, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do something like this. Let me grab my example here. We're going to do a little bit of what's called ringception, right? And you can see I made rings out of rings, right? And I'm going to take this strip of niobium round mail and make however many individual rings out of it I can. I'm hoping for an odd number, and then I'll turn it into a necklace. So I'll have 4 or, well, probably 5. 5 rings of round mail, and then I'll use that as a centerpiece, as a pendant, and I'll make the rest of the necklace. I have some 19 gauge stainless over here, and it makes a really nice 3 connector Byzantine, so I am probably going to use that. I did think about this this blackened stainless steel. I don't know how well that would go with the bright colors of the niobium, but the main chain being muted and then the bright niobium standing out, I don't know. I'm not a jewelry designer. I am just all I do is open and close rings in various patterns, and everything else is, I hope it looks good. Jeep and Jammer, how you doing, buddy? Oh, man. All right. How's everybody's Tuesday? Turned on the radio this morning, and I got back-to-back Pink Floyd. I was like, oh, it must be 2 for Tuesday. And that's how I knew what day it was. Some of these niobium rings have little burrs on them. I'm going to tumble it for like 20 minutes. See if it doesn't take care of those. The Anodized items like titanium, aluminum, and niobium, if you tumble them for too long, almost all of the color will disappear. Case in point, this formerly anodized titanium block. We're going to re-anodize it, or attempt to, here soon. May have to wait till after Christmas, because I gotta buy some, what do you call it? I gotta buy some equipment in order to anodize it without giving up other people's Christmas presents. So I'm holding off. But we'll get the... It's a direct current control thingy. And it doesn't cost much, but I want to make sure that I am able to get everyone's Christmas presents first. So, and then we'll whip up a electrolyte solution and anodize the cube and this dice bag here. We'll get there soon. We have plenty of projects to take up time in the meanwhile. Oh my goodness. I get downstairs and instantly my nose starts running. Michael O'Brono, thank you for the follow. Alright, nose running, coughing, I need some water. Let me get some work done. I was cleaning out my garage and my shed, so I was out in the dust a lot for yesterday and today. I have a tool cart in the corner of my garage with a cardboard box on top of it full of stuff that I have to go through. And I have a Foot Locker in the shed full of stuff that I have to go through. And that is it. I've got a folding table in the shed holding up my miter saw, and I've got my table saw accessible, and the ugly chainmail shirt, my first chainmail shirt that people have been trying to convince me to refurbish, is now accessible. So, oh, and I found out when they built my shed, it was a Home Depot shed, and you buy it and they come out and they build it for you. They use the screws with the square instead of a Phillips or a flathead screwdriver, which made me instantly think of, it's a cartoon on Netflix, and it's about a daughter who's going off to college, and the dad doesn't want to let her go. Oh my gosh, what is the name of this movie? And then robots take over the earth and ship everyone off in capsules, and they use a screwdriver that the dad had bought for the whole family that happens to have this particular square head. And if you haven't seen the movie, it's a great movie. And I tell you what... Excuse me. I'd tell you what it is if I could think of the name of it right now. You're rewatching Arrow? I've never seen Arrow. I don't know anything about Arrow. What is Arrow about? And also, when Home Depot built my shed, they broke off a lot of screws. I looked at the right-hand side door because I was putting a lock on. So when we first got the shed, the lock broke in the first year. The lock and handle. So that was crap. Then during the winter, I couldn't get it open. The door jammed shut. Had to pry it open. And so that was fun. But I took a look today at the right-hand door going into the shed, and a bunch of the screws were broken off. So I had some 3-inch screws that I tried to drill into the metal. It's got like a metal frame in the door for reinforcement, I guess. I don't know. But it was metal, and it took me a little while. I had to drill a hole and then screw it in, and the door's hanging on. It's doing okay. It's pretty good. It's DC. I'm sure I've seen it on the Netflix screen, but I can't tell you the last time I sat down to watch TV. I am due for a viewing of The Lord of the Rings here soon, which is where I will annoy my family by taking an entire weekend up watching all 3 Hobbits and all 3 Lord of the Rings movies. And I need to go ahead and just purchase the extended edition. I have one of them, but I need the other 2. Because clips come up, and I'm like, oh, where was that in the movie? And it's in the extended edition. So I will sit down and watch TV for that, but I don't have a TV down here in the basement. Otherwise, I might watch more. If Fable 4 comes out anytime soon. Actually, let's look that up. When does Fable 4 come out? Fable 4. Release date. Late 2024. No official confirmation as of yet. We would expect to see it around October, as this is when previous installments in the series have launched. Well, October's come and gone. Thanks for nothing. So it's probably going to be a while longer before we get a Fable 4. But that will prompt me to go out and buy an Xbox and a TV for the basement that day. I've been putting it off because I don't need one down here. I've got the PS5 upstairs and the Switch. I play on that mostly. I spent hours in Tears of the Kingdom this summer. But I'm not a big gamer. But I was home a lot. Well, I mean, I'm home all the time. And I was like, oh, let me find something to do. You know, I can only do so much chainmail. And it turns out that's not true. I can just make chainmail for days and not get bored of working on all these projects. I'm having a blast getting some of this stuff done. So I've got the PS5 upstairs with the main TV in the living room, and I've got some games on there I want to play again, or play for the first time. Skyrim and God of War. I never played those. God of War Ragnarok was supposed to come with the PS5 already. You know, it was supposed to have a download code on a piece of paper inside the PS5, and there was nothing. I had to go and fight a Best Buy employee to... They ended up giving me $70 off so that I could buy the game. I don't think I ended up buying God of War. I think I bought something else, but I never played God of War 3, so I figure I'll play that before I get Ragnarok. And I'll get to it eventually. Kids in school, and It's going to be cold winter this year. I mean, winter's cold every year, right? But we're going to be cooped up inside and have to, what do you call it? Have to be around each other, so. Jeep and Jammer, thank you for the share. How are you doing today? How's Arrow? Is that going well? Winter's one of those things that I haven't gotten used to here in Wisconsin. I grew up in Boise, Idaho, in the Treasure Valley area in Ada County, and there's three of my security answers right there. But we would get snow, it would get cold, and where Boise is, it's a high desert, so we never got a ton of snow. We had the mountains blocking anything coming in from the Pacific Northwest. They would get most of the snow, and then we'd get, 2 or 3 inches in the valley, and then it would melt off by the next day. Did I see your guess as to what movie I was talking about? No, it hasn't popped up anywhere that I can see. I could Google it, but it's like The Hermans or something, or Jack and Jill Conquer the World or something like that. I don't remember. Meet the Clampets, or some kind of title like that, I think. So we've got... Started a little early tonight. I want to get down here. I want to finish up this pile of rings and then count how many sets of rings I have. How many rings long this piece is, and then divide it by a number that gives me 5 round mail rings. So I hope we can finish this pile tonight. You have a feeling your Twitch needs to be restarted? Yeah, it's the Mitchells. That sounds right. Meet the Mitchells. The Mitchells versus... I don't know. It's something like that. But yeah, that's it. What did I do here? What's going on? I screwed up. There we go. Yeah, it's like Meet the Mitchells. Father and daughter couldn't be more unalike, and she's going off to college. And it's about their family trip across country. Anyway, it's a cartoon on Netflix. It was good when I watched it. There were some really good scenes. But the dad hands out this this screwdriver for screws with square inserts to undo them, and that's what they used on my shed. I've never seen anyone use those. Whatever brand they used was really crappy because a bunch of them broke off. And it had to be replaced, but... I fixed it. At least I tried to. Nothing should fall apart anytime soon. And I was going to build a ramp so that I didn't have to pull out the metal ramps I have for the riding lawnmower. And half the height is covered up by the bottom of the doors. So I wouldn't be able to build a ramp and just leave it there. Which I thought that was kind of annoying. And then my yard slopes down into the front of the shed, right? So there's like a 4-inch, 5-inch drop from the floor of the shed and the ground, but then it slopes upwards. So I don't know. I'll figure something out. But I'm out there. I got the... What I need to do now is run an extension cord out there. Because I've got the table saw out there. Table saw is accessible. I got the miter saw out there. Miter saw is accessible. It's... It's ready for work to be done out there. Pretty much. I want to... The folding table I have out there now, I want to replace that, build a table into the shed. But I haven't decided how I'm going to do that yet. I think the best way is to glue up a bunch of 2x4s vertically so that the width is, you know, so that the two boards are this way instead of this way. Does that make sense? So you only have that 1 3/4 surface area of the 2x4. And I'll glue and screw them together, and it's just a table from scrap wood. I want to mount a vise to. I just need it to be pretty sturdy. So I'll have a vise and some saws, and I don't have room for much else, to be honest. It's just a 12x12 shed. But a couple of hand tools that don't take up much room. Should be good to go. Used to use those screws all the time in furniture repair. Nice. Speaking of furniture repair, I've got to do that too. I've found my stapler, and there is some fabric that came loose on one of our couches, so I got to flip it over and see if I can staple the fabric back down somehow so that the couch is functional. My 9-year-old doesn't understand how large he is, right? He's in the 95th percentile of growth. He's going to be a big guy. And so when he gets rambunctious and dives on the couch, or, you know, jumps up to sit on the edge of the couch and it cracks, he is kind of clueless as to why. Why does the furniture break? And it's like, because, big guy, you're just a big kid. And the furniture wasn't designed for sudden drops of 110 pounds onto it. So, and And then there's another portion. One of the beam, there's two sections of the couch. Each section has a broken beam somewhere that creaks when you sit into it. So it's just like a small couch, right? Or it's just like a small break in a beam, a crack, right? Nothing's fallen apart completely. And the fabric is on the left-hand side of the couch. Is it on the bottom of the couch? Probably black or white. Is what black or white? Oh my goodness, my nose is killing me. This is ridiculous. Tell you what. Tell me what's black or white, and I'm gonna go blow my nose. I'll be right back. Alright. Hopefully that helps. Alright. So, yes. I should be able to flip the couch over, find where the fabric detached, and then staple it back together. Hopefully. And then, I'm never ever going to buy a couch with pillows as cushions, right? Gonna get the couch with the cushions. I'm also gonna get a bigger couch that takes up more of the living room. Kind of just like close off my living room with a couch that you can lay on. Because I don't give a single shit about guests coming over for holidays. Like, oh, well, where they sit? Oh, they can lay on the couch. The beam is super easy to fix, and the black or white is about the fabric you were talking about. If it's on the bottom as an underneath, it's called the dust cover, and it's made of cambric. Now, where the fabric tore away from is behind the pillows. And it's like the bottom of it just got detached. So I'm assuming if I flip it over, there should be a place to hopefully staple it back into place. I don't know. But as far as like fixing the beams or anything, I don't like this couch enough to put that much energy into it. It's just, I'm just going to let it fall apart and get a new one at some point. Kind of irritated with the fact that it didn't last very long for a couch. I mean, I realize that my son destroyed parts of it, but you know, I have another couch that lasted like 10 years. This one's only 8 years old and it's already falling apart. But that's okay, because I now know that I don't like couches with pillows. I like couches with cushions. So, it was a learning experience, and I will get something different. And I am glad that I'm not moving, right? We moved up here from Texas, and we brought all of our furniture with us, which was mostly silly because This house is twice as big as the house down, more than twice as big as the house down in Texas, and we had to buy a bunch of new furniture to fill it with furniture because it was largely empty with what we brought up from our small house. It's not that much energy. The beams are usually brad nailed into place. You just push it back into place and use screws instead. I'll take a look. If I can see something where I can fix it, you know, more power to me. But like I said, I'm not heartbroken that the couch is going. Wow. Is it just you and me on both platforms? No, we got a couple people watching over here. Alright. Sweet. On your personal couch, you remove the dust cover entirely. You think they're dumb? Is that fabric on the bottom that the dog gets a hold of and chews up, and then it hangs down like a? It makes it look like your couch is all torn up. Yeah, okay. When I go to flip this couch over, I'll take a look, see if I can rip it off. Because we have a puppy, and he likes to chew shit. So, is that a mistake? What is that? Uh-oh. Done something wrong here. This will be good practice for later when I try to connect the ends of the round male rings. That wasn't too bad. There you go. Yeah, it should rip off super easy. Well, good. I'll get rid of it because the puppy goes after it whenever he sees it. Just being a puppy. I need to make some videos with him. I'm making my new social media account manager. People like puppies. Old bearded dudes, not so much. So we'll pull a bait and switch on them. We'll entrance them with the puppy, and then bam, there I am. Alright, y'all said Arrow's pretty good and that it's DC. He's a superhero with powers like Batman. I just noticed that comment. Oh, dang nose. What else exciting happened today? My neighbor came over, gave me two box knives, but they're like the fancy box knives, like the fold out with the replaceable razor. I guess all box knives have replaceable razors, but where'd it go? He like goes to thrift stuff everywhere, And he's constantly, like the other day he came home with a laser. Tonight he came over with 2 of these. He'd bought like a dozen of them. And just hands them out to the neighbors and stuff. Said he picked it up for $2. I'm like, alright, I don't know what truck this was stolen off of, but nothing I can do about it now. Oh, removing the dust cover will provide easy access to what I'm fixing. Yeah, I assumed I would have to remove it when I was planning this out. And hopefully I can fix fabric and I'll be a hero. Oh, it's without powers like Batman, not with. Ah, okay. Both are powerless. Batman only has the power of his mind. I think the last Batman I saw was Matt Damon's friend, Ben Affleck. I was watching one of the Supermans. Or maybe it was just Superman with Henry Cavill and Batman's in it. I don't know. When I found out that they were, like, they canceled any more Wonder Womans with Gal Gadot, they canceled any more Supermans with Henry Cavill, I was like, I realized I'd never seen them. So I went and watched Superman. I've never seen Wonder Woman. The, what do you call it? I've mentioned previously my history with comic books and how I read Calvin and Hobbes and Garfield growing up and was never introduced to anything Marvel or DC until I was much older. So I was never, like, I enjoyed Iron Man when it first came out and I followed that. Enjoyed the first Avengers. And I watched all the movies through Endgame. And I enjoyed them. Same thing with, like, Star Wars. I grew up with the original 3. And I think I saw Phantom Menace in theater. But I didn't watch, I don't remember watching any of the others in theater. And it was never one of those things where I didn't know any Star Wars nerds growing up that I'm aware of. So people, like, you'll see some guy with a dozen 3D printers printing out masks from Mandalorian and Iron Man and all the superheroes and all the Star Wars characters, and it's like, I was just never into any of that. I didn't have the exposure. Oh, I can hear my son getting yelled at. He's been real, oh my gosh. He was clapping back something fierce this morning. He almost got knocked out. I can hear him right now fighting with his mom because he doesn't want to go to bed. I just heard him say, "What did I do?" So you're not listening, pal. Alright, you're always watching Batman stuff. He's your favorite DC, followed by Green Arrow. As for Marvel, your favorite is Captain America. I don't know if I have a favorite. I did enjoy the movies, but when they get into, when someone posts something and it's, you know, fan fiction of their favorite movie genre, that's where people lose me. I enjoy the original stuff. I was never obsessed with it or anything like the way some people are, but you know, it's a good time. I don't have anything bad to say about it. But when people were criticizing Hayden Christensen for playing a bad Anakin Skywalker, right? I understood why people didn't like Jar Jar Binks. I got that off, I got that right off the bat. I didn't understand the whole Hayden Christensen fiasco playing Anakin Skywalker because I simply didn't know enough about the movies to provide any kind of critique. So if there is something that I could critique that I was deeply involved in and loved as a child, I've mentioned Redwall in here before. We've talked about the Eye of the World saga, right? And Edgar Rice Burroughs books. And I saw someone make a TikTok earlier today about, I think the movie's called John Connor of Mars. And it's based off a Edgar Rice Burroughs novel. My stepdad had a bunch of those. And they're like trashy space romance novels. They're super short, super fun. I breezed through them a long time ago. I thought they were super cool. And when John Connor, I think it's John Connor of Mars, when that came out, I thought the movie was great. I thought they did a great job. Like, this is, vaguely how I remember a book I read 20 years ago, but I guess the movie kind of really flopped, along with the TikTok I was watching, where they were discussing movies that flopped that like Disney had made that had no marketing behind them, but that were still good. I guess Tron was good, but didn't have any marketing behind it. I don't know. I've never seen it. Books were better than the movie. Latest movie is pretty decent, but like Dune, there are purists. Yeah, the original Edgar Rice Burroughs books, they were good. I mean, I thought the movie was decent enough. You think both Trons are good? Never seen them. Don't know anything about it. I have, I don't know, several hundred DVDs that I collected over the years. And probably a decade or so or more, 15 years ago maybe, I just stopped buying DVDs. And I would buy like a bunch of movies that I'd never seen. And I'd eventually watch them. You do believe both Trons are on Disney Plus? Get a chance. I mean, I don't even know what Tron is about. Something futuristic. His father built a machine. Something. I don't know. There's no, like I said earlier, like I just don't have any history with it, so I don't. Yeah. You don't think you've ever bought a DVD, video, or movie, always digital? I try to only buy DVDs. Preferably DVDs with the digital edition available, especially if I'm buying them new. But like I said, I haven't bought a DVD in a decade. Or more. And the reason is because a long, long time ago, back when everybody had iPods, you could purchase digital media on Apple and have it in your account. And if Apple didn't maintain the licensing contract with the artist of that music or the producer or whatever, you would lose access to the media you had bought. So I just bought physical copies of stuff, and I just eventually stopped. Like I don't buy CDs or DVDs anymore. It's not that futuristic. The main character gets trapped into the PC system, and that's why it's all high tech from there. Oh, okay. So like the kid in Willy Wonka who gets trapped in the TV. Is that what you're telling me? Alright, where are we at? You have a whole comment here. When talented computer engineer Kevin Flynn, played by Jeff Bridges, finds out that Ed Dillinger, played by David Warner, an executive at his company, has been stealing his work, he tries to hack into the system. However, Flynn is transported into the digital world where he has to face off against Dillinger's computerized likeness. Sark and the imposing master control program. Aided by Tron, Bruce Boxleitner, and Yori, played by Cindy Morgan, Flynn becomes a freedom fighter for the oppressed programs of the grid. That sounds interesting. Yep, I've never heard anything about that. Cloud stuff is the bane of ownership. You got digital copies and back them up, so if net goes away or not someplace with net, you can still watch your stuff. And changing of subtitles and sound today make me glad you kept them. Yeah. Well, I mean, it sucks that you have to go onto the counteroffensive to just keep a hold of the media that you pay for, you know? Shouldn't be that way. Alright, so here I thought I would get through this pile of rings tonight. It's already 9 o'clock and I'm not even halfway through it. And it's, where are we at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I said we would end at 20. Hang on. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Yeah, we might go to 14 or 15 inches of chain here. You still buy CDs and DVDs? Bought a DVD set today? You've been that way before Cloud started and never moved to it. You have 30 terabyte server with 4 backup clusters and redundancy checks for corruption. Nice. I wish I knew what those words meant. But I understand the gist of what you're telling me. You've got everything backed up. All right. There we go. Yeah, I don't have anything like that. I just have like 300 or 400 DVDs. I don't have very many CDs. I was never big into music. I have some that I like, but a lot that, like, whatever. You stick with 13 inches out of spite. Your old man collects audio format, CD, high compression, rips, and organized it by alphabet and artists and albums. Over 10 tera of just audio. Wow. See, I wouldn't know what to do with 10 terabytes of audio, right? I enjoy music, I do. But I don't go out and seek out, like, new music or... I've been to a couple concerts, but concerts are definitely not my thing. It's how you learn to make good backups. There you go. it's not just Control C, Control V onto the desktop. Cordelia Creations, thank you. How are you? Thank you for the hearts and thank you for the roses. It's so kind of you. How are you doing today? We're still chugging away at this niobium chain. I was figuring out what I was going to do with it, and I'm basically going to, what I want to do is, where did my example piece go? Desktop files are most corrupted as they are read every time you bring up the desktop. Nice. Cheap and Jammer is always playing music almost non-stop. I'm pretty sure you've got some form of tinnitus, never been diagnosed, but if I don't have some form of noise not going in on your ears ring, yeah, that's tinnitus. So I want to make rings out of the niobium chain and connect them together like this, and however many rings I end up with, right? I'll try and make it into the centerpiece of a necklace, I think is what I want to do. Oh, my nose is killing me. I'm glad to hear that you want that on your wrist yesterday. Ow, that ring stabbed me. It's definitely good for a wrist, right? I have little wrists comparatively, and that's where we are. We're once around and then some at almost 11 inches now. It is really pretty. It's ridiculous, like just mixing up the rings and letting it play out, you know. However I select the rings, I think was the best way to organize these colors, because it's a nice green. It's not super loud ringing, but it is ringing nonetheless. Yeah, that's, excuse me, that's tinnitus. You have 7, so you wear 7 1/4. You have 7-inch wrists, so you wear 7 1/4. Is that what you're telling me? Well, I'll certainly give you a good deal. I was looking up the cost associated with this, and I think the minimum order is like half an ounce. So one of these, excuse me, we have at least half an ounce of niobium. What's going on with this ring? And from the Ring Lord. Now I remember niobium being pricey, and it was like $30 to $35 an ounce. I was like, dang, man. Alright. You wear 8 inches and make them that size when selling them. There you go. Alright. Niobium is akin to silver in cost. Yeah, it's expensive. And Cordelia, if you're serious, I mean, I don't have any issues selling this to someone as just a bracelet that goes around the wrist. So let me know and we'll make it happen. But if you're not, then I'm going to turn it into a necklace, I think. We'll see. I don't know what the cost would be. It's like $30 to $35 an ounce. So I can tell you what this weighs, and then I wanted to do that. I might want to turn it on and zero it. Okay, that's 1.3, 1.4. It's not quite as much as what I had. I wonder what I used niobium in before. Apparently, it's just a weird order. We are at 1.4 ounces. So it's like $45 for the material. And that's all I know right now. Oh man, that made a mess. And that's all the material. That's not just the material for the bracelet. So I don't know exactly what I would price out. Half of 45 is what? Plus hours plus labor? I don't know what that would be. What should I charge for my labor? $5 an hour? Am I a minimum wage employee? Let's ask that. I should be. Oh, my foot's numb. What is half of 45? Now my brain's not working. It's 15 plus 7.5, so that's 22.5. And if that's half of my material, you like to aim for $90 an hour these days? All right, let's see here. $90 an hour. That's a good hourly rate. I think the most I ever made was 37. And that was the last hourly rate I had before I stopped working. You see travel nursing jobs a lot. They'll pay $90 an hour, but you got to travel across the country and stuff. It's like, I'm not doing that. When I figure my numbers, I will let you know. I'll shoot you a message. You can't wear anything else, yeah. No, I get it. Niobium is very hypoallergenic. So you shouldn't have issues, theoretically. But I'm not a doctor, I'm just a nurse. You're making 37 now, machining as lead floor supervisor, running 4 machines and making mail. So you're just watching machines make stuff and weaving rings together. There you go. Same, yeah. So here's a question. Do they make niobium clasps? Let me check the Ring Lord right quick. Got French earring hooks with niobium. Just the one page. I wonder. Because I know they make titanium clasps. Alright. $1 million. That's how much money you make an hour. Once an hour, check dimensions, load new materials, sit for 45 minutes, repeat. Rio or Fire Mountain Gems has niobium class. There you go. Was nursing for adults and children with disabilities and later geriatrics? You were also a nurse? Is that what you're telling me? Very cool. All right, so 7 1/4. Oh, so here's what I was gonna ask, right? A 7 1/4 inch wrist is or bracelet size is what you said you wear, right? And then the question came up about the clasp, and my second thought was bangle. Like if we just connected the ends and did that. Or we can get you a clasp and make it that way. It's up to you. I'm not a big bangle guy myself, but alright. We can check Fire Mountain Gems for niobium clasps, see if we can find a color match somewhere. And find some you don't like too loose? Yeah, the idea was that you would roll the bangle over your hand, but that was my other question. We can do it that way or we can do a clasp. Alright, come downstairs to make some chainmail and make something someone likes so much that they have to have it. That's a fun thing. So a lot of people come on and ask if I do custom orders. I don't. I will, in theory, I will one day again do custom work once I'm done with this project of cleaning up the mess I've made. Okay, excuse me while I blow my nose real quick. I honestly thought that I was going to come down here and finish up this pile of rings. Hi, Cordelia. I'll send you a message when I have something for you. Have a good night. Everything is theory till it's done, like your shield. Yeah, exactly. But we're getting, I mean, we're making progress. We got a bunch of small projects done, a bunch of small projects to do, some large projects to do, and we've got everything, like all the stuff for the motorcycles down here. We've got the shed cleaned out. If I need to, if I get the gumption, not the gumption, if I get the, I don't know, time and ease of mind enough to go out and mess with that first shirt I made. We're getting, we're getting somewhere. A lot of stuff's been getting done. So that makes me very happy. We've got mail has niobium clasps. Nice. See if we can find one in a similar color. I'm sure they have it. I should pour through their website. I don't know what all they have. Doesn't matter because I'm not going to order anything, but I like to window shop. I like to know what people have because in case you need something, you know where to get it. Like, I didn't know that Chainmail Joe had a anodized aluminum kit. I think that's super cool. Uh-oh, I screwed up. Oh no. I started to make Turkish round mail instead of regular round mail. There we go. Okay. There. If I can do this right. Apparently not. Come here. Oh my goodness, there. Goodness. You guys want to get on the internet and watch me stumble with something I've been doing for 27 years? As long as what's round? The clasp? Or the Turkish round mail versus round mail. Yeah, as long as it's as long as it's round. That's all that matters. Right? I gotcha. I gotcha. I love trying to decipher text as things go along because I got a slow processor. Takes me a minute to catch up. It's almost like a 2005 Dell running Windows 7. Come on. Alright. Now I wish I had gone and done some work during the day earlier. Like, I even got started early. And I don't know. The eyes of my pliers were bigger than my pliers' stomach. And what I'm trying to say is there were more rings in the pile than I thought. How would you... I want to say transubstantiate. How would you say that? You know, my eyes are bigger than my stomach, but for pliers. Starts Googling how to upgrade human RAM. It's coming. Whole Neuralink thing. Chips in people's brains, man. All Johnny Mnemonic and stuff. Just wipe my childhood. It doesn't matter to me. Oh, okay. That's awful. I saw that movie before I made Chainmail, and I stumbled across it somewhere. Sitting in my TV looking for something to watch. Sitting in my living room. I was sitting in my TV. I was sitting in my living room watching TV, looking for something to watch. Stumbled across Johnny Mnemonic, and the female lead character has a chainmail shirt at some point during the movie. I don't think it's a whole movie. I think it's like through the end, halfway through to the end. Now Googling how to safely upgrade human RAM. Yeah. Just Robocopping it up. How to integrate humans and AI. Oh, the horrors you have seen. What else has got chainmail in it that was kind of surprising? War in Good Omens. The character that plays War has some scale mail on her leather jacket that she rides on her motorcycle. And of course, I mean, you have the standard Conan, Braveheart, Mad Max, etc. I'm trying to think. I know, like, every time someone spots some chainmail in a movie, they post it to one of the chainmail groups, and but I'm trying to think of non-typical, like, movies that aren't based in a medieval period that have chainmail in them. And so far I've got Good Omens, which is a TV show, and Johnny Mnemonic, which is post-apocalyptic. with Keanu Reeves playing the same character he plays in every movie. It's worked well for him, so I shouldn't criticize. Excuse me. Come on. There we go. How far along are we? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're at 13. About to hit 14. Keanu plays Keanu. All right. So if she wants a 7 1/4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1/2, that's here. We still might get. If we can get 3 rings, we can still make a centerpiece for a necklace. That'll be cool. Hell. All right, we've got a half an hour left. 25 minutes left till I typically get off stream and go get ready for my day tomorrow. And come on. I just need to push this in just a little bit. That work? I think that worked. All right. Oh, don't do that. Okay. That would be interesting if I can get this done and use up all these rings in the next 25 minutes. I don't want to go, I don't want to try and speed through it because that just leads to poor closures. But we're closing in on the end. That's nice. Speed weaving, for me, I won't speak for anybody else, but leads to bad closures and mistakes. But I think we can get this done in a timely manner. It's not that many rings sitting there anymore. But thank you, Jib and Jamber, for reminding me of the slideshow. That reminds me that I have this whole to-do list we all worked on yesterday that I still have to do. So I got to spend the day inside, downstairs, working on stuff this week. And I need to here's what needs to happen. I need to take everything on my workspace here and shove it to the side onto another table where I can't reach it and put my pliers over there. Because every time I come down here, I sit down like, oh, I'm going to get some work done. And I do get work done. But it's chainmail work and it's not like computer work or design work or store work or just these cursed rings, I tell you. Hop to, mailman. Mailman and mailbox.com. 2 websites that I don't have enough money to buy. Leave the list on top of the pliers as a reminder. Won't matter, man. I'll just be like, oh, let me sit down and listen to a podcast and get a little work done for a little bit, and I'll get some work done later. And 9 hours later, after 1,800 rings have been opened and closed by my pliers, it's fine. This is fine. It'll all be fine. But I will. I'll put the list right here. And I leave this stuff here because it's kind of cool to have it in the shot, right? When people come look, oh, what are you doing? Oh, what's that? What's this? Blah, blah, blah. But also, I still have to tumble these. I need to cork for this. I've got to anodize this and this. And I've got to finish this. And I got to use up these, and it's just, it's mostly stuff that has work still to be done on that. So I don't want it to stray too far because I don't want to lose track of what I've got to get done. But also, I need to get it out of the way so I can get some work done. But I cleaned out my garage, cleaned up my shed. Cleaning up down here now would be best. You would leave the list and pliers and grab another set of pliers and just work on something else in the list. If you had a nickel for every time your pliers opened and closed a ring. Yeah, right? That's why you have 3 benches set up with mail projects around your cave, hoarding your treasures and piles of projects. Yeah, I've got 3 tables right next to me. And this desk. And while I can't do this all day, right, I've got to clean house, and what are my responsibilities? I get up, make sure everyone's up, off to work with lunch, feed my kid, send him to school, right? Then from 9 o'clock when I get home to 3 o'clock when I have to leave to go pick up my kid, I keep the house clean, prep for dinner, stuff like that. Feed myself, take care of the dog, right? So I don't, that's what I do on the daily. I don't have a lot of... mow the lawn and shovel the snow. It's not like I'm chopping firewood. But speaking of chopping firewood, I was thinking... My neighbor has a gas furnace connected in his garage, right? Mailers are like dragons. We don't hoard treasure, we hoard projects. Yeah, 100%. My neighbor's got a furnace in his garage, and my other neighbor has a stack of wood in his. And I have this tiny little space heater that doesn't heat nothing, right? And I was like, what if... Because I like the aesthetic of having the stack of wood, right? Terrible, dirty, whatever. It's like, what if I just put a wood fireplace in my garage just for fun? I don't really have a place to put it. Like, a vehicle would have to move out, and neither the Vet or the Harley are going to be moving out anytime soon. Like, what if I just put a wood stove in my, or wood fireplace in my garage, and just gave it a little chimney, you know? And just sat out here and stayed warm in the garage with my wood stove. But now that I think about it, that's dumb. I don't have a place in the garage for it, and I want a Four Seasons room in the back of my house anyway. You heard gems, silver, mail, blades, armor, weapons, helmets, and close to 3 dozen stuffed animals in mail. Very nice. So yeah, I want to put a Four Seasons room on the back of my house. And I should just put a wood stove back there. That's what I should do. Instead of putting one in the garage where I don't have room. That makes more sense, I think. Just, you know, start a fire in there early in the morning, sit outside, sip my coffee. That'd be nice. It'd be real nice. Excuse me. My brother-in-law just got done putting a Four Seasons room on the back of his house a few years ago. And I built a deck down in Texas. 200 square foot deck. 15 by 20. You have a waste oil burner in your garage. You burn brake fluid, transmission fluid, used oil, and get oil from work. You filter and burn. Wood, you spend every other hour stocking it and smoking it out when the lighting was a hassle. Like, you like propane as a forger, so you're a bad smith that doesn't like coal. You use waste oil. Do you use it for heat, or is it just like it's a waste oil stove? What are the fumes like off of that? Also, that brings up something I gotta get done. I have power steering fluid, like a jug of it, in my garage. None of our vehicles use power steering fluid, except for the Corvette. But the Corvette uses a very specific type of power steering fluid, right? And so, I need to get rid of the dusty jug container of power steering fluid that is in my garage. I don't think you can burn power steering fluid. I have no idea. But yeah. Oil burner built-in system designed for diesel normally will burn kerosene and gas and oil if preheated. Veggie oil too. Interesting. So I'm assuming that does that have a higher tolerance for fumes? It's a lubricant. It's an oil. Yes, it burns. Should I just go dump it on my fire pit out back? Light it on fire? Or dump it in the fire? Start a fire and then dump it in there. So oil burner built-in system. Does it have a higher tolerance for fumes coming from the stove to where you're standing? And is it for heat? Or was it to get rid of products? So I can't imagine breathing anything that comes out of that as good for your health. Not that I'm picky. I, smoke Newports. So. But I can't imagine anything coming out of that to be good for you in any way. Things like deuce and a half truck burns any engine and makes heat like a car system. Filters the smell outside as designed, and it's designed to heat the garage. It has a car lift, and it's the best useful. Nice, very cool. I didn't know those were a thing. Think like a deuce and a half. Yeah, those are people like those. Buying old surplus deuce and a halves. And I should go grab one. I should buy one, right? Just because it will burn anything, right? And they're not going to get rid of oil anytime soon, but they'll try. And in worst case scenario, I'll always have something to run. Maybe that'll be my next vehicle. So deuce and a half. The barbecue, Mission Barbecue down on 50th here in Kenosha has a deuce and a half. Designed or painted after their restaurant. And an oil burner like a Ford setup. Well, belt steel setup, right? Woo-wee. That's some heat. That is some heat. Did I tell you what I was going to do with, I think I did. The, what do you call it? The springs from the garage door opener, right? I got those sitting outside the shed right now. But I'm going to wrap the post that my mailbox sits on. Did I tell you that? Oil change and transmission and power steering is changed by the gallons, not the liters, so watch the cost of oil changes every 4 months. Yeah. Oh, you need your oil change? Okay, that'll be $12,000. Speaking of trucks, you used to work for a place where your delivery truck was a Unimog. What is a Unimog? Is that one of those Russian things with the giant tires that can't get stuck? Let me look this up. Unimog. U-N-I-M-O-G. Images. Oh, cool. Nice. It is illegal in the United States. That's what Google says. How did you have one? I assume you're in the States. I don't know. Do I? Have we talked about this before? We probably have. But I have the memory of a goldfish. You can't send a link on Twitch, it'll get censored. Yeah, probably. Platforms are very sensitive about stuff. It's weird what they get sensitive about. But whatever. Try to use all of them as to the best of my ability. Yeah, you're okay. You're in Arizona. I knew that. I did know that. You don't know where they got it. They just have this. Probably got it before some kind of ban, right? Before some emissions ban came down and it was no longer allowed. It's like they're putting. You know how diesels have DEF that you got to put in, which is like urea. To cut down on emissions, and they have the whole system that collects all your emissions, and then it gets clogged up and you have to clear it out. And so instead of releasing your emissions slowly over time, you dump them all in one place, right? So diesels have that system, and cars have catalytic converters to get out all the heavy metals and stuff, get all the heavy metals out of whatever the fuel or the exhaust rather, right? Well, I saw a graphic that was talking about Mercedes or Jaguar or Audi or some car manufacturer putting some kind of car DEF system. And I thought, wow, that's crazy. In 2026, right? And it's stupid because most of the emissions are caught by the catalytic converter, so. And it's also stupid because I don't care. I'm a heartless bastard. You want the system they made in Sweden that collects car exhaust and they turn it into ink for painting and printing? There you go. I want a nuclear powered car. That's what I want. I want a small little reactor, smaller than this coffee can, right? Heating up some uranium, giving me some go juice. I think that's probably totally impractical, though. You just have a nuclear reactor with a Stirling engine connected to it. Thorium fusion reactors, 10,000 mile range, yeah. Like, I don't know. If it's not advancements in nuclear, I don't want to hear it. It's like cars are already ridiculously expensive, and you want to put more regulatory equipment on the exhausts to make them more expensive. No thanks. I'm just going to pray my truck lasts until the stupidity is over and the prices come down. Alright, well, what time is it? 9:56. Oh, we're so close. Just this little pile of rings here. You need the Jeep to run on water? Yeah. You can't stand gas prices? No, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd. Gas prices in this country right now. I'm at $4 right now. I knew what you meant, Jeep and Jamber. There's There's no way you can stand gas prices right now. I knew it was a typo. Because some people are paying up to 8 in certain areas. That is just ridiculous. So they've got... I don't really have an interest in EVs beyond like the amount of torque that those engines produce. The fact that they're fast, that's cool. Right? Used to cost you $40 for a full tank from almost empty. Now it's almost 80. Yeah. It's 80 for me, minimum. $25 gallons. It's always almost 80 anymore. But yeah, EVs is a race car, is a speedy little shit and get car. Cool. I like that idea. Used for anything else, like, I don't know. I've heard people say they want to replace the trucking fleet with electric vehicles, which I think is probably really a terrible idea. I've seen people state that they want to replace military equipment like tanks with electric vehicles, which I think again is a really terrible idea. But hybrids, cars with what's the next iteration of the Tesla? Tesla's coming out with a hydrogen car. I forget. Is it just the H? You used to buy gas by the barrel when you had your 96 Chevy Suburban. 47-gallon tank on it. Holy crap, dude. It didn't have 2 tanks? 96 Chevy Suburban. Nah, it wouldn't have had 2 tanks. When they phase out 2 tanks? 1988. When's the last car to have 2 tanks? Commercially available car. I don't know. You don't keep up with Tesla unless it shows on your FYP? Yeah, so a bunch of auto manufacturers in the Asian market are apparently coming out with hydrogen powered cars. So you fill your car up with gas, right? And then the car runs on hydrogen, right? And that's like the next big thing after batteries. Had the 3rd-seater, single fuel tank. You could upgrade to a 55-gallon aftermarket. Nice. On a 96 Chevy Suburban, though, so what was the mileage on that? 50-gallon tank. That's what? 200 miles? In 4 or 5 gallons to the mile? 4 or 5 miles to the gallon. There, words. Words are hard. I know them, though. Alright. 13 miles per gallon. That's not bad. That's almost as good as what my truck gets now. Full with your full forage of 1,800 pounds or empty. There you go. 4 gallons to the mile. Yeah, that's what it feels like anymore. Excuse me. Oh, so close. So close. You used to go camping all the time. Now you feel like you need to take out a loan to go camping? 100%, dude. 100%. But look at it like this, right? The current status can't last forever. So either something will change for the better or for the worse. There. That sounded prophetic. It's not going to be this way forever. It's either going to be good or it's going to be bad. And nobody knows which it is. I personally think that we will do just fine over the long run, and that this the current issues we're having will resolve themselves, right? Because the current issues we are having, a lot of them are caused by rampant stupidity, and that's usually all hail the male prophet. That's funny. Usually stupidity gets found out and corrected. Usually. It can just, things can just be stupid for a long time, though. So. Alright, I suppose, so if I make 3 rings and connect them, 3 round male rings, and connect them together into the center of a necklace, I should probably order some more round male, or some more niobium rings to finish off the necklace, because it doesn't make sense to have a hypoallergenic pendant and have a non-hypoallergenic chain, right? Like, that doesn't make sense, right? I should probably order some niobium rings to finish this. If I can get the bracelet out of this piece and the pendant ring. So when am I going to found the Church of Mail? The Church of Chainmail? I mean, that's a tax write-off, right? It's like that chart that explains how much you'll find out based on how much you fucked around, yeah. Yup. The Church of Chainmail. What are churches? Are they 501c3s or 501c4s? Or can make a lot of write-offs if for religion? That should be... We should do that just for fun. Like your tithe is 10 rings a month. Oh, man. And that way we can have so the whole the whole premise, no, the way the Church of Chainmail started was coming up with t-shirt ideas, right? Right, but if we had an established church of chainmail, we could go and write and design those shirts, or have someone design them up and have like quasi-official positions. That'd be funny. Church of Chainmail comes with leather Bibles of weaves, materials, and hours, complete with mail stamping on the cover like your armrests. Nice. That sounds like I'm going to end up doing a lot of work. Which is fine. I'm fine. This is fine. I should switch my whole business model over to the Church of Chainmail. Come on. There we go. All right. Just under 2 hours straight. What time did I get started? Yeah, I'm going until I ran out of rings. I'm done. That's all the rings that I can use on this, because I don't have any more. It wasn't going to take me that much longer. Oh, right. Paid work, no taxes to pay. You got to buy the book. All right, how many? So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're just shy of 15 inches here in this chain. It's okay because you can write off the cost of the books. Yeah, I gotcha. All right, so 15 inches is not long enough for a necklace. I'm sure someone's neck is 15 inches, but mine sure ain't. So I'll contact Cordelia and see with a price, see if that works for her. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. And that gives us 7. Right. Inches roughly to work with. 2. Can we get 3? 3 rings out of this? I don't know. I'll have to. If we can get 3 rings out of this section, then we'll make that as a 3-ring ringception piece, and we'll order some niobium to close off the necklace so that it's all hypoallergenic. No, it's 13. I win. All right. Let's see here. Let me get this over on the front camera. Okay. This is the finished piece. Color has a tendency to come up a lot better on the front camera when I can get it closer. And it's not tonight for some reason. What is going on? Why is my airplane mode on? How am I streaming with my airplane mode on? That's weird. It's green, blue, and purple round mail that we're gonna make into a bracelet and hopefully a centerpiece for a necklace, a pendant for a necklace kind of deal. Excuse me. Oh. For everyone over here. All right. That purple and green really come out. Can't tell the difference between the purple and the blue really, but it's pretty cool. I like it. Niobium dog turd fidget. Have you ever seen my dog turd sculpture? That's funny. It's a brass and bronze round mail. Excuse me. Very Mardi Gras themed. Mardi Gras. Man. Okay, so for anyone on TikTok, I'm going to grab a drink of water here before I die. Anyone on TikTok watching, my name's Sean. I run mailworks.com, where I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories like this hoodie, right? And I have other examples. That's just the closest one in reach, right? All kinds of fun stuff with chainmail prints on it. And if you're interested in learning how to do things like cubes or round mail or spheres, stuff like that, bottle wraps, in the link tree is a link to Google and Apple, where you can find the MailWorks app, which is a list of a bunch of resources for new and veteran mailers. It's almost all of the resources I wish I had when I first started doing chainmail 27 years ago. So please go check that out. I've been on 8:30 to 10 most nights for the last couple of weeks, since I was sick a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to try to make more videos, and I'm going to try and stay going live every night as much as I can. You know, of course I have a family, so I got to pay attention to them sometimes. But anyway, I will see you guys all later. Go check out the link tree, download the app. Go to if you like what you see and want to support my channel, the best way to do that is go to my store, mailworks.com, and get yourself something nice. Christmas is coming up. Christmas is coming up, and you deserve it. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one. All right. Where are we at here? Do you have bucket car seat covers yet? No, just the... Do the ones I have listed on there not cover bucket seats? Better not go live on Thanksgiving or Christmas Eve day. That's family time. I probably will not. Yeah, probably not. I mean, like, my kid goes take a shower at 8:30. He's in bed, and, you know, my wife's chilling at this point. We're just doing our thing by this time of day, so. But holidays and stuff, I'll be at my in-laws' house for excuse me. I'll be at my in-laws' house for Thanksgiving, and then everyone will be here for Christmas. So, anyway, John, look at the car seat covers I have on there now. Let me know if they're not bucket seat covers. I thought they were, unless I'm not understanding what a bucket seat is. Yeah, my eyeball. Anyway, guys, appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate all your help in running the stream and everything, and all the information you guys provide.